probably just has it at the top. Oh, there we go. I think you can pause it for now. So we are recording. If you didn't hear that, I hope that's okay. And I'll just gonna get started here by showing you our agenda. So I'm gonna share my screen, Tatiana. So first, I want to welcome all of our global citizens again. That's really the core of the building of these global networks, is to really connect all the people at USF who are from a different part of the world, who have that shared experience of leaving their comfort zone and going to another country, who are engaged internationally. So that's really the reason why we've put these together. So we've already started with our welcome and our interactive map activity, and I'm going to share a little bit of network specific data, so a little bit of the historical relationship between USF and France. And then we're going to introduce our wonderful honored guests here, Glenn and Hamza. And then I'll give you a little more detail on what a global network really is and what it could look like. And then we'll open it up. I'll invite everybody to turn their cameras on and we can have an open discussion about how this network can serve you. So first, it's probably helpful to talk about what is a global network. It's probably not something you've heard from in a university before, but I like to think of it as a group of alumni, students, faculty, and allies who are from the network country, are in the network country, or they have an interest in that network country. So if you think about the typical sort of American tradition of alumni chapters, this is taking that and expanding it exponentially and making it more inclusive. Typically, alumni chapters are sort of restricted to a particular city. You have to live there and you have to be an alum of that university to participate. We're basically doing away with these kind of international borders. So it doesn't really matter where in the world you are, where you move. We have a very mobile society now. You can become a member of this network and remain a member of this network no matter where you go. So it's really inclusive, and we're thinking, you know, international students from France, study abroad participants that come from here that go to France, our visiting scholars, Peace Corps volunteers, alumni living abroad who just moved there, and any of our internationally engaged faculty and partners. So that includes any faculty doing research there, any faculty from there, any of our community partners who are engaged in international trade with France. So it's a very broad category to connect people who can serve as peers, collaborators, etc. So if we talk about prospective membership for France, it's pretty exciting. So we have over 500 alumni in France already. We have over 380 publications of our faculty with other faculty in France. We have over 600 students who have studied abroad in France from USF, over 85 who have participated in our exchange program, including Hamza here. And we have about 20 students from France on campus right now, and we are expecting more in the spring. We also have many partners, and we've had many other partners in the past, but these are the current active partnerships. Institutions abroad with Descartes University in Paris, University of Nice. And then we have MICEFA, which is a big one. And then we have other prospective community partnerships. For example, the French American Chamber of Commerce here in the Tampa Bay area, FRAMCO. I used to attend those meetings when I was a French student, you know, here at USF. So there's someone that I would love to reach out to, invite, and be a part of this network. And it's really anybody who wants to come to the table to expand the types of opportunities that are available to everyone. We also have pretty amazing institutional support for students from France. We have the Miklos Scholarship, and we have the Florida-France Linkage Institute here at USF. So for French students who want to come to the US, there are quite a few benefits that help them with their tuition and make that possible. Okay, so I'm gonna switch it back here to our panelists. I would like to invite Glenn, who happens to be right here in my office. If I do this, you can kind of see him. he's joining me here, and we're going to take a look at these questions. So I'd like to highlight both of them. I'm going to stop sharing my screen in just a moment, but we're going to ask them some challenging questions and hear a little bit about their experience abroad and here at USF. So heartfelt welcome to you, Glenn and Hamza. Thank you for participating today.
Thank you, Vanessa. It's a pleasure to be here. This is something that is really near and dear to my heart because as a student, university student, quite a few years ago, I won't say how many, I had the opportunity to go to France, and it was one of the most important experiences of my life. It shaped my life to this day. I had been studying French since middle school through high school. I did 1 month in France during high school, which is a nice sort of taste of what it was like over there on a high school exchange program. But I was sort of protected by French professors, French teachers, and I didn't have to really survive on my own. So I didn't really quite get it. And then I minored in French and did international business undergrad. And so I arrived in Paris my junior year, spring semester, thinking, wow, I'm ready. I'm good to go. This is going to be great. But I had no, chaperone. I had no French, teacher with me. I sort of arrived at a point where all of a sudden I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. I kind of attributed to learning English and then arriving in Manhattan on a really busy day. If English is not your first language. So I was actually really lost at the beginning, but I immersed myself over there. I studied for 3 months. It was taught by French professors in various top subjects in English and French only. And then I did a really nice internship with a French financial services insurance company for 4 months. And so long story short, it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I'll be happy to answer more questions about it, but I highly recommend it to any American student that has an interest in international. I think every student should, but hopefully it sounds like if you're on this call and you're a student, it's because you may have an interest in that. So if you're studying a foreign language, keep up with it. And then ideally, if it's French, great, then go to France. I highly recommend it. And I think Vanessa and I and others can give you some tips and spend as much time as you can there. So with that, I'll cut myself short and pass it back to Vanessa. Merci.
Thank you. Hamza, could you tell us a little bit about, how you ended up here at USF from France?
Yes, of course. Firstly, I would like to thank you all for being here today. It's a great pleasure to meet you all and to be a part of this amazing conference. And thank you, Vanessa and Tatiana, for the proposition. I'm very happy. So regarding how did I came to USF, it's a great story. So with my business school in France, we have an exchange program in the second part of our master. So first, you should know that in France, we have 5 years in total. We don't have 4 years like in USA. So it's 5 years. So I decided to go to USF because it has always been my dream to go there, actually. And you always hear about a country, but you never experience it. So this was a good opportunity for me to come to USA. And why USF? Because as I am a financial major, I saw that USF is very, very good in finance. So that's why I decided to come to this university. And I lived the best experience in my entire life. I mean, I recommend it for each and every one of you who have the ambition to go in another country, to be with different people from different cultures. It's just amazing. Can even not describe it. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Hamza. So I'm just going to keep you on the screen, Hamza, on the spot. Could you please share with us what was the greatest challenge and the greatest joy that you experienced at USF?
Yes, you know, when you're coming from another country, like it's challenging to know more about another country and its culture. Because when you are from another country, maybe your life is like normal because you're doing the same every day. But when you are in another country, like just being with different people that think differently, not the same way, because like, for example, they're more open-minded. They have different type of personality that is not totally the same in France. For example, in France, like especially in Paris, we have like people who I wouldn't say that they're not like open-minded, but like they're more like want to work hard, and I could understand it. For example, if you go to what we call region France, you will see that people are more kind and will give you the best of their personality.
Okay, thank you. What about you, Glenn? When you studied abroad, what would you say the biggest challenge was? Greatest joy? Any particular memory?
So the biggest challenge was, I think, upon arrival, feeling like I wasn't going to survive, like I was going to sort of drown in terms of the lack of fluency. I felt like I was an amazing French student. Even the French professors told me I was. But when I arrived, I was like, this is not the French that they taught us in the book. This is not the way they talked in French class. I can kind of pick up every fifth word maybe, and then there's a bunch of slang in the middle. And so I was really worried that I was going to be lost. But I then committed myself. One thing that I would highly recommend for Americans and English speakers going to France, it's very easy to surround yourself with Americans and English speakers in Paris or most French cities. And by doing that, it's very safe and comfortable, but you're doing yourself a disservice. So I chose to live with a host person, like a hostess, versus living in the dormitories, which was pretty much all Americans that all went to American and British and Australian pubs and talked English all day. I did the other. So my host lady did not speak any English. So that was that. I was speaking French. And then the classes were in French, so that was good. There was a bit of English obviously spoken between classes with my fellow students. And then the internship I did, pretty much everybody did not speak English very well. They would try, but it was pretty much a French environment. So for 7 months, I was in French immersion. And again, it's very hard to learn that in the classroom. You have to take yourself to that environment. And I think that's the ultimate of, really, for me, that was the ultimate challenge, but also the ultimate accomplishment.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. And since you're here, how do you keep connected to France? Now you're here in the United States. And just so you all know, I have been working with Glenn to host the former Prime Minister of France. He was just here a couple of weeks ago. So I know you're still engaged with the French community, not only through cultural means, but also as a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken, right? So please tell us a little bit about that.
So when I came back from France after being there for 7 months, I think I experienced what I call reverse culture shock. Like I was really depressed back here, even though Florida is beautiful. I was like super depressed because I missed, the beauty of France in every respect. And so I was like yearning for like French connections, the Alliance Française, the French Student Association. I was like going to anything that said France on it. I was like, I'm going. And it was kind of neat because a lot of the people that hadn't been to France that were at the school were like really interested in hearing about it. So that was one part. When I was in law school, I went out of my way to be involved in international student associations. There were some French students and some Quebec students, so I connected there. And then I got involved with the French consulate, the French trade office in Miami, the French Chamber of Commerce as well, and just made a lot of connections of professionals from France that were in Florida that were kind of impressed that there was an American that spoke French pretty well and was very interested in them. And as an attorney that does immigration, they were interested in any advice I could provide them about how they could stay. Many of them wanted to stay in the US beyond their internship or whatever they were doing for the French company. So that's sort of many moons ago what helped to launch my career working with the French business community.
Thank you, Glenn. What about you, Tom? So how do you keep connected with the US, USF? I know you're doing a wonderful internship with PwC, but in France. So can you tell us a little bit about how you stay connected?
Yes, of course. So when I was in USA, like for my exchange in January 2022 until May 2022, I've met a lot of people, and those people are from the business major. So like how I keep connecting with them, like I have them on my social media, so I can talk with them like daily, like we keep exchanging some messages, and you know, like keeping the contacts with some people will always give you benefits, because you don't know what life holds. So like you need to help people and they will help you. Like this is how life works. And I think that nowadays, like people should be like that, because we always learn from other people, and we need to share with other our thoughts, and this is the best. And yes, sorry for my English, it's not that good, but I'm trying.
You're doing great, don't worry. And that's something that you've told me you've actually interested in coming back here, is that right?
Yeah, actually, as Glenn said, he lived actually a great experience in France, and I'm very happy that you lived a great experience. And I can say the same for USA. I mean, like I went with my Hannah. It's one of my now best friend. We just met there. Actually, we were in the same school, and we were like best friend there. And we just have the same dream, that is to go back and to come back to USF, because like it's just amazing. Like you cannot compare it to another country. Like everyone who is saying that USA is a great country, that he didn't lie. It's true. It's university, it's people, everything. Like the weather is nice, the people were so nice, so kind. Like I feel home, you know. Like sometimes just being in a good environment with good people always will keep you in a good mood.
Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do now is, because I really want to make sure that we have time for everybody to turn their camera on and talk a little bit, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my concept for global networks, and I'll share my screen then. Okay. So generally our vision and purpose is that we want to create this worldwide interconnected network of USF alumni, students, faculty, allies, partners, bring everybody really to the table. So we want to connect USF's global citizens. That's how kind of the idea generated. And we want to build communities of support. To me, that is a very critical part of the network, a role of the network. And that's support for international students, support for our faculty who are engaged internationally in research, support for our international programs, our exchange programs, and for those faculty and community partners in the area who are engaged in international business, international trade. We want to offer them resources, connections, things like that. And finally, we do want to reconnect our alumni with the university so they can share their experiences with our students, guide them, share wonderful experiences like Glenn and Hamza have done. And then we also want to provide them with resources, access to talent, access to a lot of the things that are available at USF even after you graduate. So right now, last year, actually, we launched 4 networks, and this year we're launching 3. So it's something that's really growing. It's something that I think here at USF World, we're very excited about. Each network we fully expect and hope will have its very own flavor. The faculty, the students, the alumni, each part of the world is going to have its own interests, its own priorities, and that's okay. We're not interested in a cookie cutter mold for every alumni chapter or network to do the same things or want to do the same things. Obviously, we have a lot of audiences and players that are active internationally. And one of the biggest things that we really want to do is to connect these people. The university is already engaged in so many initiatives internationally, but sometimes they don't connect, right? Sometimes this professor doesn't know that this professor is also going to France or doing that research. Or when our study abroad students go abroad, you know, they may not meet with all the alumni who live there who can offer them amazing experiences. So in terms of those benefits, again, we want to think about how people can stay connected. You know, your journey doesn't really have to be over with USF when you leave. We want to be able to offer you the opportunity to expand your professional and your personal networks. If you've started a company or a nonprofit organization, being able to access talent at USF is really, really valuable. It has been to me. I started my own company and I have always come to USF and been able to source students as really talented interns, and they've been a big part of my startup. So for other alumni, that's a possibility. We do have alumni in so many places who are excited to offer our students internships and to get to source that talent from here. In terms of networking with other alumni leaders, you know, I hope that each network can have some kind of a director and that those directors can meet. So director of Network France can meet with the director of Network Japan and the director of Network Brazil. So it offers another level of networking. And of course, anybody's willing to participate or collaborate with our professors, to take an active role in USF, to pay it forward if you had a wonderful experience. These are some of the benefits of being a part of this network. But these are just some basic ideas as an alumni myself, but I really want to take this opportunity in this event to hear from you, because you are the ones that are going to articulate what is of value to you. What do you need, want? How can we support you as a faculty member, as a student, as an alum? So we really want to focus on that. So I'm going to open it up here. And while we get prepared, while everybody's turning their cameras on, I'm going to ask Tatiana to put another link in the chat. And this is going to be a map where we get to see where everybody is right now. So if you could please click on that link and move, you're going to see a little pin on a map. You can move that to wherever you are right now, and it'll just be interesting to see where everybody is calling us from. All right, if you guys, all the shy people, if you could turn your cameras on, it'd be great to see your beautiful faces. And in the meantime, while everybody's answering these questions, I'll just give you some other examples of the kinds of collaborations that are coming out of these networks. So for example, professors who take their students abroad are now having regular alumni gatherings in those places. So I've done that in Peru, we've done it in London. I am very much looking forward to doing it in Paris this coming summer. We will have a big group of students. They go there every year to do an arts in Paris and art history program. So it's a wonderful opportunity. We already have representation going there. We already have alumni there. I'm very excited to bring everybody together in the summer in Paris. And that's something that we'll want to do every year. So I'm going to open it up now. You can turn your mics on. I'd love to hear from you. You can just tell us where you are and what you're doing. Or if you have a question, if you have a suggestion, an idea, we want to hear it. So please feel free to chime in here.
Hi, Vanessa. I guess I'll go first. My name is Michael Foley. I direct the USF Dance in Paris programs, and I'm glad that you mentioned the arts, because I was noticing that that was something that maybe could be added to the presentation, was the representation of the arts in France. And I know the Art in Paris program has been very, very vital and been bringing students for a long time to Paris. The USF Dance in Paris programs have actually enrolled over 300 students from 23 different colleges and universities since 2007, and we'll have 42 students in Paris starting in January. So we have a really large representation over there. Students have received over $100,000 in scholarships. We've given away 10 internships over there. We've employed 70 artists from 15 different countries, primarily from France, and students have seen over 280 different performances. We have partnerships with artists and institutions ranging from the Paris Opera, Théâtre de la Ville, Théâtre de Chaillot, the Centre National de Danse, the Étoile Institut de Langue, and our budgets have our cumulative budgets are close to $2 million at this point. And our biggest partnership right now is working on a student exchange with the Conservatoire National Supérieur de Musique et Danse in Paris. So we're looking at bringing students, forming this partnership to bring students to USF to study in what is a conservatory here of dance. So I just wanted to just make the point that even though that these are kind of small programs that are here at USF, we have a very large footprint in France, and we're looking at an even larger one as we move forward with a College of the Arts wide initiative to create a college-wide campus in Paris as well.
Thank you, Dr. Foley. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. I've heard many times about your dance program and how successful it is and how students join from all over the nation, not just USF students, but they actually come to USF to participate in that program, just for that program. So thank you. That's a wonderful example of the many ways that USF is engaged in France. I think I saw my former professor up here, Dr. Latowski. Are you there? Are you hiding again? There you
No, I'm
are.
not hiding. I'm here.
Yeah, so you want to say a few words? I'm putting you on the spot. No, and anybody
My
can
goodness.
chime in here, but just in case some shy people are kind of waiting to
You
jump in.
consider me shy?
Not you. Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, can you ask me a question and I'll answer it?
How long have you been teaching French here at the university?
What's 2003? So 19 years? Seems like a lot.
Wow. And
So
was I your favorite student or?
Absolutely. There's not even a close runner-up.
Okay.
Hey now.
Wait, who else is there? And no, who?
I was joking. I wasn't
Oh.
your student.
I didn't think so. I was like,
No.
okay. But Renee, you didn't have a beard when I met you.
No.
That's how long I've been here.
No beard and no
Before
gray
Renee's
hairs.
beard.
So are any of our alumni who are in Paris right now, does anybody want to jump on and say hello?
Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Hey, hi. I'm so excited. So I'm an alumni. Graduated in 2008 from the College of Business. I'm currently in France. Unfortunately, as soon as I graduated, I flew back to Paris, and I must say I've lost touch with pretty much everyone at USF. So I'm super glad this event is coming out. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Is anybody else in Paris?
Am I the only one in France?
No, I'm in France. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you.
Hey, everybody. My name is Casala. Now, I was actually French student in 2021 with the MISEFA program, and I'm glad you invited me. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. So you were from the MISEFA program, is that right? I think
Yeah.
so. Okay, great. Who else do we have here? We had people register from all around the world. You know, the attendance is never the same as the registration, but we did have people really from all, I mean, Japan, Qatar. I mean, we do have alumni all over the place from who are originally from France. So it's very interesting to see where everybody is. I'm really hoping in the new year that I'll be creating a global directory for every network. So you can sign on online, and the kind of map that we created today, you'll be able to see where everybody who's a member is on the planet. You should be able to hover over them, see their name, and if you'd like to contact them through LinkedIn, if they provide that information, that will be possible. So I think that's kind of the core of the network, is to be able to find people and to see where everybody has been. And just like Dr. Foley, you said that we're one university here, but our global impact is pretty impressive. So to be able to highlight the reach that we have, those students who come here and go elsewhere, the students who are from here and go abroad and end up in France, it's very interesting to see. So I'm very excited to launch that in the new year. Does anybody else here want to say hello? I'm going to start calling names.
I have a comment.
I can say hello.
Comment if I could.
Oh, let's let
Go ahead,
AP Wellness
go ahead,
say
go
something.
ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I don't know your name because it says AP Wellness.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Glenn wanted to say something. So
You can go
can you hear me?
afterward. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. First of all, I want to say congratulations for this initiative. I am an alumni from USF. I graduated in the year 2000 from the School of Arts and Sciences. I still have one of my favorite professors teaching there, which is Dr. Spector. I major in psychology, and Dr. Spector was an amazing influence for me. And I really got interested into industrial and organizational psychology, but I didn't stay in that area. I have created different lives with learning how to do research and studying human behavior. So I graduated. I stayed for a while in America, in Tampa. I'm originally from San Juan, Puerto Rico. That's where I was born. But I lived 16 years. I was living in Florida. And I had a health club there, a very interesting health club in Palm Harbor. And after some years, I came to France, and I've been living in Paris, in and out since 2005. Now I'm spending some time in Spain and going back to Paris in February. So when I saw this coming up about the network, I got very excited because I have different initiatives. I have worked with the United Nations Environmental Program in Paris, and I have my own initiatives too. And I thought that if I can be of any support for the students that come, that would be great. And also for professors, I saw some of the visions and missions that you have for this program. So I think that I would love to give support in any way I can, and of course know more about all the ideas and how everything continues to develop. So thank you very much for the invitation. USF has always done a great job sending information and keeping in touch with the alumni. So I have been very impressed with that, and I'm very proud of my university. So thank you very much, and good luck with this program, and hope to meet you in person, all of you, someday.
Thank you so much. I know that Dr. Brecka will be very happy to hear that you might be in Paris to welcome our students there and help them, acclimate and everything. So I appreciate you being here. And you're welcome to join me tonight at the launch of Network Caribbean, since you are from Puerto Rico. So
is that happening tonight also?
It is tonight, and you can be a member of as many networks as you'd like. So you are more than welcome.
Send me. I have 5 or 6 hours ahead. So I don't know what time would that be.
That might be too late for you, but I'll keep you posted.
Send me the link. Send me the link.
Yes,
okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Glenn, you wanted to say something.
A couple of observations. One is for students here in Florida or students in France. that are thinking about going to the other side of the Atlantic, but are also thinking, well, I'm really busy. I'm really busy with school. I've got a lot going on. Maybe I'll do it later. No, it doesn't work that. I can tell you from experience that I think most other people will say, as you finish university and get into your professional life and then your family life, it's not the idea of spending 3, 4, 5, 6 months abroad. It's very unlikely. So do it now. It's really worth it. I think no matter what, it will be an experience that will benefit you. And also you have the resources, whether it's on the USF side or on the side from France, as I think Vanessa alluded to, there's a lot of resources available to help you if there's a financial consideration. So really do it now, don't put it off. Number 2 is take advantage of the LinkedIn network and the other networks to put the word out. If you're going, introduce yourself. I think it's a wonderful idea to the extent that the network can let people know that so-and-so, somebody is coming to Tampa or somebody is coming to France, or even if it's just an impromptu visit, I'm coming, somebody in the network might be able to help you with something. So take advantage of that. And then if you're not traveling, if you're in Florida and you're not traveling to France right away, there is the French American Chamber, there's the Alliance Française, there's French student associations around campus. There's plenty of ways to connect with the French community. There's the French consulate in Miami. There's an honorary consul here in Tampa. There's a lot of activities going on with regards to France. And finally, with television and on the internet, you can watch a lot of French television. It's very easy to sort of be connected to French culture, French news, French business, whatever your interest is in France, football, PSG, whatever that may be, basketball over there, and watch it in French or vice versa. That's something that wasn't as accessible that many years ago, but now there's no excuse for not being able to be connected to that. So I just wanted to give you all some thoughts for those of you, both in person or virtually. There's plenty of ways to stay connected.
Thank you, Glenn. I think we lost Vani, her connection. But Dorina, you wanted to say something? You want to introduce yourself?
I just wanted to say a quick hi because unfortunately I have to go. I'm saying hello from Strasbourg, from the beautiful city of Strasbourg. It's in the eastern part of France. For those who don't know, it's we are just at the border with Germany. And yeah, I'm myself, I was born in Moldova, and I came to France almost 19 years ago as a student. I initially thought I would stay here for 1 or 2 years, and here I am 19 years later. And I graduated from the University of Strasbourg, from the business school where I work now. And at this time, I work as a coordinator for international programs, for exchange programs, with French students going to US and Australian and Canadian partner universities. So yeah, I would like to encourage your students to come to Strasbourg. It's a lovely city, and it's very close to many other countries like Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, and it's right in the heart of Europe.
And you have the best Christmas market in Europe.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
That was good to know. Thank you.
And thank you very much for this event, and have a nice evening, everybody.
Of course. Thanks for coming. Any other alumni that want to introduce themselves? Yeah, Brianna.
I'm not an alumni. I'm a present member of the steering committee for digital marketing through the College of Business at USF. So just wanted to jump in. I'm actually presently living in Toulouse, France. I'm originally from South Florida in the Fort Lauderdale area. So not so far from Spain, actually, and I'm in the process of learning French. I've been here for 3 years now. So I would say I'm about an intermediate level. But I'm a digital consultant, so I work on several different projects and looking to support the networks in any way that I can. If anyone has questions or interested in getting into the IT or the digital space, yeah, feel free to reach out and happy to help.
Thank you, Brianna. I think it's nice to see the diversity we have here. We have alumni partners. There's Vane.
No, hi. Sorry, my Zoom just decided to crash, but that's okay. Thankfully, I have Glenn here and we're in the same office. So thank you for sharing. That's really cool. So you're not far. Over in Toulouse. Let's see, we're wrapping up here. We're getting close. Does anybody have any questions for anybody else? Please don't be shy. Please let us know what you think. You're leaving?
No, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. After this meeting, okay, so I'm already engaged in LinkedIn. So, and then of course, email and LinkedIn, but how do we continue to connect after this meeting?
Yeah, the right now, we're going to be using the LinkedIn group as a way to communicate with everyone. There will be an in-person event in Paris in the summer. And we will communicate about where that's going to be, what time, and all of that through LinkedIn. The hope is that in the new year, I will be building a separate site apart from LinkedIn so that those who don't want to be on LinkedIn, who are not active on LinkedIn, can join an independent website, and it will be a global directory of USF global citizens, including Network France. So through that website, you'll be able to also get messages, communicate with us, see where everybody is on a map. So right now, the primary program will be LinkedIn.
Thank you.
So yeah, and please, everybody feel free to forward the link to anyone that you know. This is a small number of people here, but like I said, we have hundreds of alumni in France and around the world. So anyone that you know, an old peer, an old friend, a faculty member, please feel free to forward the invitation, and they're more than welcome to join. I have a quick question, Dr. Liptowski. You obviously head the French department here at USF. How many faculty do we have from France in your area? Maybe she left. Oh, I think she dropped off. Oh, well. I'd love to hear, let's see, Dr. Lewis, you look like you are in a faculty office. Do you want to pop on and tell us what you do?
I am, yeah. Thanks for putting this together. This is really exciting. I'll just go back to something Glenn said when he first introduced himself about going to France and just sort of being taken in by the whole experience. So briefly, I'm a faculty member here in the Department of Integrative Biology at USF. Just in terms of, being able to stay connected to France by watching football, I discovered that some random channel buried deep in my TV plan plays Ligue 1 games all the time. So I can't really speak well for PSG, but I'll root for Olympique Lyonnais. But yeah, most recently I was in France as a Fulbright fellow, representing USF there in Lyon. Working with a faculty member or a scientist in France that I met 20 years ago, long before I was ever at USF. And so I did some research with him. We have a couple of research articles coming out, so you can add those to the publications you mentioned at the beginning of all of this. But we also have some family ties there. My wife and I are godparents to a couple little French kids, not so little anymore. So yeah, I go to France. I don't know, I've been there 5 or 6 times, all corners of the country. I love it. Sometimes professionally, sometimes personally for the visits. So yeah, it's just a blast, and I'm super excited to find it yet another way to stay connected to people interested in the sort of this US-France relationship. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Dr. Lewis.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people like that here at USF that do go to France relatively often, who are either from there or do research there. So I appreciate you sharing your story with us. Is there anyone else on here who wants to share a little bit about their journey either to USF or to France?
I will say that the Christmas market in Tours is pretty good also. I haven't been to Strasbourg, but
I haven't been either, but a lot of people in Paris actually were telling me, because I love the market in Paris. I thought it was amazing right there in the Champs-Élysées, and they're like, "Oh, you have to go to Strasbourg, it's the best one." So,
yeah.
but I think a lot of the markets, the Christmas markets here in Europe, are pretty nice. I mean, I think in America we get some Christmas markets, but like they have it in here. I haven't seen America. Maybe in some cities they have it, but here really it's I don't think it's a little bit of another level. But so maybe that'll be a good trip to go to Strasbourg and visit the friend there and go to that Christmas market.
Speaking of organizing trips, so I work in the Education Abroad office. I specifically work with maintaining our relationships with our French university partners, our third-party providers who help organize our student travel and logistics into country. I work with our faculty members to design programs to lead students to France, with individual students who want to go on exchange programs, and have had the privilege of leading groups of students to Paris before. So that's who I am.
Thanks, Renee. Before we end this, I'd like to know if there are any students still on the call. Any current students on the call right now? May have already dropped off. They're so busy.
No, I think that because for the French students, because they just received, the housing, so like they should select right now, because I have a friend who will just leave. That's why.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We would like to take at least one nice kind of group photo if everybody's willing to turn their camera on for a moment. We'd like to have a photograph to commemorate this wonderful occasion. And then you will be free, I promise. So I'm going to ask Tatiana to take a nice shot for us.
All right, I'll let you guys know when to smile. Go Bulls. Wait for it. Go. That looks great. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I'm going to put my email in the chat here. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time with questions, suggestions, requests. It is going to take all of us to make this a network and to make the network fruitful and valuable for everyone. And I'm totally open to shaping this to your benefit. So I'm going to drop this in here. Thank you all again, and have a wonderful afternoon or evening.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Merci à tous.
Salut.
Thanks, bye.